What's up, guys? Rich coming at you with another Bloodborne video, and here we are in the Nightmare of Mensis. We finally managed to get to the shortcuts in this place, which, I ain't gonna lie, this place was an absolute nightmare. It lived up to its name, absolutely. Now, again, I'm going into all of this blind. I don't know what I'm gonna face. All I know is I got these wonderful shortcuts opened up. And pay attention to that window for a future reference for yourselves, because you can actually hop out of the elevator into that window, which leads you to another area that I did not discover until much, much later in my playthrough. But yeah, you unlock all these elevators that get you to the top floor, and it gets a little weird here. I'm not going to pretend I know what's going on exactly. We do know that there is some child that is being born as a result of apparently these old ones. They lose their children and they look for a surrogate mother to birth their children into the world. Something to that effect. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it again. I'm not up on the lore just yet. It takes me a few playthroughs to kind of put it all together, and maybe watching a few videos from, you know, the likes of Epic Name Bro and people who really can sort and piece the puzzle together. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, here we are, and there's a baby carriage in the middle of this very creepy area, and then this happens. What the hell is that? It doesn't have a face, but it's got 6 arms, and 4 of those arms are bladed. So again, I'm going into this fight completely blind, and this is my first attempt at it, which I'm very proud to say that this is my first attempt at it. So we're just trying to get a lay of, you know, the attack patterns of the boss. We're trying to figure out, you know, what we're in store for. So I'm not engaging very often. Here I see an opening, and I figure let me test how much damage I'm doing. I broke the baby carriage, so I think I successfully killed the baby, which is terrible. But anyway, the boss. So the boss at this stage of the game has, you know, your typical sword attacks, slashes, you can easily avoidable stuff. And then this happens, and it gets all dark in here. And now here's the thing, and again, don't quote me on this, because this is just my personal take. I don't believe the boss knows where I am, the same way it's hard for me to tell where the boss is. And while it's not hard for me to tell where the boss is, because obviously I know from the glowing of the... I'm assuming those are the swords that are glowing in the darkness here. But I'm not exactly sure that the boss knows where I am, because look at it. I mean, the boss is just, you know, off, just flailing its arms in the dark. So after a while I say, enough is enough. Let me go in and try to be aggressive and get some damage in. So that's what you see me do there. I'm just like, alright, enough is enough. Now, I'm kind of worried that this is the way the rest of the fight's going to go, but thankfully the lights come back on, and you get this, oh man, it's just this creepy, like, baby music jingle that's going on while you're fighting this thing. This is Mergo's wet nurse, by the way. I should have pointed that out at the very beginning. Mergo, I'm assuming, is the child that was to be born, and this is its protector, I guess. But yeah, so we're back to the slashes, and again, since I don't play as aggressively as most people would like, I'm backing away, looking for my openings. I probably could get a shot in there. I'm trying to bait the, and there you see what happens when I go in a little early. But I'm trying to bait the, that one, I almost bought it. I'm trying to bait that, that flight attack that she has. where she kind of flies at you and leaves herself open. There I get a decent shot. And now we're going to go back into the dark. So now, my philosophy is, okay, well, in my head at this point I'm thinking, well, she doesn't really know where I am. So if I could get behind her, I could do some damage here. So that's my logic here. So now I'm going in. I'm not really sure if you could cripple her arms. You might be able to attack the limbs. Again, I'm not sure. You know, I'm just giving you my perspective of what happened in my fight. You know, I wouldn't consider this a guide on how to beat the boss, but so yeah, now I'm going back in for the kill, get some damage in. Normally that attack would symbolize, and then this happened, and now I'm in full panic mode because there's two of them, and that I didn't like at all. So I'm assuming when you get her health to this point, now when she goes into the dark areas of the world, there will be two of them. And let me tell you, that was the most terrifying thing that's happened to me in a boss fight to this point in the game. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like, seeing the boss split a la the Dark Lurker in Dark Souls 2, really caught me off guard. Like, I legit, like, that was a jump scare for me. Like, I literally jumped. That's an excellent attack to bait because it leaves her open. And again, I guess if you get behind her, you're pretty safe for the most part. And yeah, now she starts teleporting, and so now we're at the halfway point of the fight, and this is where things are going to get crazy. Now, again, I played this like a panicky Pete. And maybe there's a quicker way to do it. Here I'm eating some damage, but the sword hits, you know, they didn't hit too hard, and that could also be because I'm behind her and not taking the direct hit. So that could be the issue as well. But now we're going to go back into the dark, and this is terrifying because there's two of them. So, and I don't see the other one, and now I'm in panic mode again. So now, what my logic is here is I'm just going to try to dodge this. I'm just going to try to wait this out. And I'm doing a terrible job because what happens is as you try to run away, they just keep appearing in front of you. So whatever path you're taking, here you're going to see it, boom, right in front of me. You know, so my logic is get my stamina up, try not to get hit even though I'm eating sword swipes like crazy here. And just ride out this storm. There, I try to get, you know, aggressive and hit them to see what would happen. And then I immediately regretted that decision. So, again, I don't know if there's a better strategy for this, but that was my strategy. My strategy was just to ride out the darkness and do my best to stay alive. That was my strategy. So now it goes back to, you know, the easy part of the fight, where you could get in there and, you know, dodge her sword swipes and do some major damage. It's a really interesting, cool boss design. I like the wings on it. You know, it kind of like it's this nurse for this child, but it kind of has like an angel of death type of feel to it, if you will. Really, you know, again, like the boss designs from Dark Souls 2 to this game, like, it really is just like night and day. I don't know how I survived that there. I mean, that was a pro dodge right at the end there. You know, pro in that I was more panicking and just mashing the circle button, hoping to God I could get away. So, here I'm going to go in, try to get some more damage in. I really want to try to finish her before another darkness period begins, because I don't know if I could survive it again. But we're going to have to go into another darkness period. But here I just wail away, you know, and then that other one shows up, and basically that's the fight for me. I actually beat her on my first go, which I was pretty impressed with, considering I hadn't beaten a boss on my first go since, I'd say, the very first boss, the Clark Beast, which I beat on my first go. So, to beat a boss this late in the game on my first go, made me feel pretty good. But so basically, I'm just gonna ride out this storm here of darkness and double-bladed angry nurses, and then I'm gonna, once the lights come back on, I finish her off. So I'm just gonna let the video play out from here. This was a pretty fun fight. If you have any tips that, or maybe things I missed about the fight, you know, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, because I'd love to know if there was a better way to deal with this fight, especially that darkness phase. So, yeah, that's about it. This is Rich-tastic, aka Megatron6783 on the PSN, signing off, and wishing all of you hunters a very happy hunting season.